In our journey from the last video, we delve deeper into the cycle of resentment. Imagine a scenario where punishments meted out to men are viewed by women through the lens of their own victimhood. This perception, like a dark mirror, feeds into their belief system, reinforcing the notion that men should behave exactly as they want them to. This expectation, devoid of respect or compromise, is akin to that of a spoiled child, demanding everything yet unwilling to give anything in return. Men, in response to this, quite rationally, avoid deeper involvement, leading to fewer, shorter, and unsatisfying relationships. Ironically, these women do not connect their loneliness and frustration to their actions. Instead, they cast men as the villains, creating a narrative that fuels their resentment. This cycle, like a self-fulfilling prophecy, feeds on itself, each action propelling the next. So, the cycle continues, each action fueling the next, like an itch that worsens with scratching. As the cycle churns, the ripple effects spread outwards, touching the very core of relationships. Men, in their primal wisdom, may not initially decline sexual encounters with these morally confused women, as their shortcomings do not significantly impact the act itself. But as the layers peel back, the truth becomes apparent. The irrational expectations, the lack of mutual respect, the refusal to compromise, all these factors push men to avoid deeper connections. The result? Women find themselves in a labyrinth of fleeting, unsatisfying relationships and broken marriages. They are left grappling with loneliness and frustration, their hearts yearning for a bond that seems increasingly elusive. Yet, instead of looking inward, self-reflection is replaced by a convenient scapegoat. A narrative is spun, painting men as the villains, the predators who mysteriously refuse to commit. Instead of introspection, the blame shifts outward, creating a narrative of men as predators who refuse to commit. The narrative that's been spun is not without its beneficiaries. The feminist movement, for instance, gains momentum from the perpetuation of these standards. Its survival hinges on an uninterrupted flow of disgruntled women convinced that their rights are constantly under threat. It's a cycle that feeds upon itself, becoming an echo chamber of discontent and resentment. Take, for example, the terms date rape and sexual harassment. Both phrases first appeared in our lexicon in 1975, born of the feminist movement. In less than a generation, these concepts have become national talking points and, ironically, have been accepted by many male traditionalists. These individuals readily believe in the widespread issue of men harassing women and agree that action must be taken. But when we look back at history, at empires like the Romans, the Christian Church, or civilizations like the Chinese or the Aztecs, we realize they didn't tackle these issues because they simply didn't exist. As we stand at the crossroads of tradition and revolution, one must ponder, is this not cause for suspicion?